allowing me to come out today. If I talk to you today, I'm going to talk to you about a couple things. One, some of the things I'm doing in private business, and then also some of the things that I've been trying to spearhead and working with communities to address housing issues. Because, you know, to have a strong community, you have to have a couple key things. One is jobs, so that people have a place to work and earn an income. Two is housing, so that you have adequate place for people to live when they're in their community. Then there's other key things like infrastructure, like roads and transportation and those kind of things. So, but housing has been a big and continuous issue for towns like McPherson. It's been an issue for all Kansas communities, like whether you're 1,300 or 13,000 like McPherson. And it's been a big enough issue now for long enough that the governor announced back in December that it was going to be one of his top priorities in the year ahead to really try to figure out how to help Kansas communities, especially Kansas rural communities, deal with the fact that they don't have the right quantity or quality of housing available. So back to me and my background, I have what I call cooperative collaboration. It's a business philosophy of mine that not only connects with the real estate development that I do, but also all the businesses that I'm involved in and all the relationships that I'm involved in. And cooperative collaboration is simply the idea that individuals and organizations can act together, combining and sharing resources in an effort to achieve a common goal. And that really does pervade every level of the things that I'm involved in, whether it's the apartment prototype or the Kansas Rural Housing Conference. So I developed what's called Chisholm Lake Apartments in Wichita. It broke ground about a year and a half ago, 216 units, a $20 million project. It got finished last August, and it's leased up incredibly quickly. It was a very successful project. But this was the first application of this cooperative collaboration idea that I had to the business world. Because what I did is I didn't just do what a typical developer would do, which is go hire an architect, a contractor, engineers, go buy some land and build some apartments. I went to contractors, architects, engineers and said, will you be my partner? Will you equity in a part of your fees, your profit into this project to be owner partners with me? I went to the landowner and said, will you equity in your land to be an owner partner with me? The idea was everybody would have skin in the game. Everybody would be the owner partners on the project. And then the other thing that I did is I worked closely with the city. I worked closely with the city and talked to our separate city representatives, had local community meetings to talk to nearby populations to see if they like what we're planning on building and wanted us to do the project, and got support from the city. I even went to the Parks Department. If you're ever in Wichita and you have a chance to go by our property, it's right next to Chisholm Park. And Chisholm Park is run by the city's Parks Department, and it's a great park, but it had a chain link fence that people had cut into and crawled through and all kinds of things. So I went to the Park Department and said, hey, if we take down your chain link fence and replace it with the wrought iron, I'm willing to put it on our side of the property line, so we're responsible for the expense of maintaining it indefinitely. In return, I'd like to, have some things that our community could benefit from, which would be putting in a gate with secure key code access so that our population can use that park. At that time, there was no access from our side of the park property, so we weren't restricting any existing access. We were actually adding access, but making it an amenity for our tenants, and at the same time doing something for the city. And so that, again, is an example of a public-private partnership with the first big apartments that I developed in Wichita. After Chisholm Lake Apartments,